Oh, welcome to the Weird Flex podcast.
But okay podcast. Hey guys, welcome.
Katy.
I can't do it like you can. Jordan is the master of the screamo. But hello guys, welcome to the Weird Flex But Okay podcast. It is the comedy, weebs, workouts, and advice podcast where we answer your questions.
Yep.
If you would like to submit a question, you can email us at weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com. You can listen to us on iTunes, Soundcloud, and YouTube. And the music that you hear in every episode is by What's My Name on Instagram and SoundCloud. And that's a wrap. We did it. Yeah, that's totally. Yes. That's the end of the episode. You only get the
end of the
intro.
episode. Congrats.
April
Bye, y'all.
April Fools. Oh my God, that's such a good episode.
God, it was so
Iconic.
funny. Sorry guys, I had I been working on a video last night and I've only had 5 hours of sleep, so I overspammed on coffee and I rarely drink coffee. Usually my energy is super already high, so I have coffee, it just elevates to another level. So I'll probably be a bit spazzing out through this episode, but that's fun. How are you, Katy? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I actually have been getting my sleep schedule back in order, and I
Good
was
for you.
up by usually I've been getting up around 9:30 or 10 or sometimes even noon, and I was like, no more. I want to be up by at least 9 every day.
Yes.
And today I had my alarm set for 8:45, and I was up by 9, and we're recording around 9:30 for me. So that was really awesome that I could make myself do that. So yeah, I'm doing good. I feel energized. I've been going to bed by 1 every night.
Nice.
And I'm on volume 67 of One Piece.
Volume 67? What chapter is that for people, and what arc is that for anime onlys?
That is about chapter 646.
Chapter 646, and what is the
It's
arc?
around there. And the arc, I just finished the Fishman Island.
Oh, good. Fishman Island. Good old
Yes.
arc. Tickle titty mermaids.
There really was an arc, but
Dab on them. Whatever.
Dab on the haters. So yeah, and that's what I'm doing. And Jordan will be releasing a very special video sometime today.
Yes.
And you listeners will be getting this tomorrow, so
Yes,
you'll have already seen it.
You've already seen it. It'll be good, and you'll be laughing, and that's good.
And who knows, maybe we'll make an April Fool's video that you'll see yesterday. Maybe.
Yes,
you don't know.
You don't know yet.
You don't know what life
Dab
is
on 'em.
about. We do dab on them.
Yeah.
But how are you doing, Jordan?
I'm okay. I saw that horror movie Us last week. That was a fun
Same.
movie, but the people in the theater just don't know when to shut up. But
Oh my God, we had the same issue.
Mm-hmm. Did you have someone just because everyone every time the bad guy would talk, everyone was just it's just shut the fuck up. Come on now.
The first time that it was revealed the quote unquote tethered had that type of voice, there were people snickering behind us, and it was oh my God, Zach is such a white mom because what he would do, he was the guy that would shush people every 25 minutes.
Uh-huh.
But luckily, none of them did that teenager thing where they're
oh, come at me, bro.
Because it was a rated R film, so we didn't have any teenagers.
You had early 20 bit.
We did, and I mean, well, I'm an early 20 bitch.
I know, exactly.
But
but you're controlled. You're tethered down.
There was a group of probably 18 to 20-year-olds that came in, and they were just kind of snickering the whole time, and whenever Zach would be shh, I'd be oh God, we're gonna die, they're gonna eat us. But it would be fine, and we'd watch the movie, but Zach was really upset that they were talking. But I'm just,
I get you. I feel you.
I just expect it at this point if I go to a theater.
I tell people, let's go out in the
theaters.
hallway.
Yeah.
We're not gonna fight or anything stupid. I just say, would you like to talk in the hallway? That's all I do. I just talk the principal. He's would you like to settle this in the hallway then?
Well,
because I just that's all I will say. Because I remember this one time I went to go see Halloween, and I asked politely this dude next to me to stop talking, but he was just narrating to himself the entire movie, and I was just about to I was just control yourself, and then ever since then I'm just look, do you have a problem? Do you want to go take the talk in the hallway about this while you're talking so much? Or I think stop. Because it's just it's so annoying. Just stop.
What did he do?
Yeah, it was just this person. What happened was he was just talking yo man, I see. No, that's what you're not supposed to do.
No.
I
mean, how did he react after you said that?
Oh, he just shut up. He's I'll be quiet.
Oh, okay.
Quiet. Yeah, because
okay, so
I was just I did that thing where I flared my traps where I looked bigger than I actually am, and I was just look, can we take this? Do you want to take this out? I'll be good. I'll be good. That's all it was.
Wow.
It's like an animal
Damn.
thing where you like you
Assert that
flare
dominance.
something. Yeah, it's just like, see, that's why even though I do like the fighter build I got now, I want to like add some more bulk to my size, because just by being bulky, that does make you like have this little intimidation factor where it's just like, I know he probably wouldn't hit me because of this, but it's just like, I don't want to find out if he would. So it's just like, quiet down. And it's just okay, yes sir. It's just like that.
That's amazing. But yeah, that wasn't the only issue I guess I had with the viewing experience. I mean, because I think visually it was a really great movie, but like I don't think it was as good as Get Out for me. And
it wasn't for me either.
Yeah, and I just like, I enjoyed looking up what a lot of stuff meant later, but like that plot twist at the end with the switch, like I think it would have been better executed. No, I'm not gonna say what switches.
Okay.
Like there was a type of switch, and I wish it would have been done in a different way. Like maybe, and it would have meant more, but like it just felt out of place. And like, so even if you're watching the movie, it won't really affect your viewing experience that there's some type of switch, but
right,
like some quote unquote plot twist switch thing. And yeah, but visually I thought it was really cool, and I like listening to like Jordan Peele talk about it. Like honestly, I think I've enjoyed more seeing what Twitter says about the movie than what I actually watched of the movie.
You can like, the thing is like, I feel like all my questions, if Jordan Peele was right here right now, I could like ask him and he would be able to go, oh well, this is why this happened, or this is my idea for this. Like I don't feel like there are certain things where
Jordan
he's proven
Peele,
himself.
next guest on the podcast.
Yes, let's get him. What if he actually like contacts us in the email? Like, actually,
There's
guys,
no
I'm a big
way.
fan, and I would love
my
to join you
God.
guys. I would just be like, shut up, like Key and
shut
Peele.
up.
It's just like, yeah, man, I actually been listening to you. Me and Keegan love listening to your stuff. It's just like,
Jordan, you're gonna make me cry. That would be the ultimate prank.
oh God, that would be amazing. Well, actually, I have to tell you something. We got an email the other day from
Oh,
a
no.
certain man named Dwayne, and I was just like, oh shit, who's
Whoa.
this guy? And it was like, oh, guy is a huge motherfucker. And I was like, you can't.
It's
you can't
Dwayne the Jock.
Dwayne the Jock? Yes, because he actually is pretty big. Boof. Oh, God. Yes. But yeah, go see Us in theaters to support the movie. There you go.
Yeah, it is very interesting for sure. Like, yeah, I highly recommend seeing it just so you can look at all the stuff being said about it. And the memes are also really good.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really good step in, like, the direction for Jordan of, not you, Jordan.
Oh.
But for like being a director of like horror films and stuff, I think maybe he's cutting his teeth on trying out some new stuff in this film that he didn't do in Get Out maybe. And so maybe his next one will be like, whoa. So yeah, I would suggest seeing it, but it personally wasn't my cup of tea.
You know what is my cup of tea?
What?
A cup of tea.
Whoa. That was iconic.
Oh, God.
That was the most
Have you
iconic
ever
joke
watched
of the
a
year.
Sonic Boom? The TV series?
I did. I watched like 1 or 2 episodes. I have not committed to it.
Oh my God, that show is so funny. There's this great episode where Amy and I forget there's this other girl. I don't know what she is. It's not Rouge the Bat, because it was like
Maybe
some
it's
other
Cream or something, like the bunny.
I don't know. I don't know. Cream's a bunny. It wasn't Cream. Like it was like
Okay.
something, and like what happens is like Amy goes like, oh well, this isn't my cup of tea, but I know what is my cup of tea. A cup of tea. And then like the girl goes, why'd you just say that? It's just like, well, I was just finishing the thought, but you said that like an hour ago. Yes, but like, well, imagine if you were an outside viewer just observing pieces of the conversation, then it would have no context. Like, you see them too? Because you're just talking.
That's amazing. Yeah, I heard that the writing for that show is really good. And
Yeah,
I've seen
there
a
was this
few,
great
clips
one.
online.
There was this great one where like Sonic's like, oh, Sirius is my middle name, and Knuckles is like, I thought your middle name was the.
I saw that clip on Twitter.
It's so funny.
There were like a few months back when people would just post Sonic Boom clips on Twitter, and it was just wholesome. I would love to see a Sonic Boom like movie in theaters. If that could be our Sonic.
Oh man, but I don't mind the new Sonic.
Yeah.
No, the new one doesn't mind me at all. Like, it's just, I mean, like, how realistic are you gonna get? It's a fucking 3-foot hedgehog that runs like the Flash. Yeah, this is super realistic. It's like,
Yeah.
wow. Oh God.
Yeah, I didn't grow up like as joined in with the Sonic fandom as like a lot of people did. Like,
Oh, you didn't find Sally Acorn and question your tastes and
oh,
women?
listen, no, I loved Sally Acorn. I had the VHS tape with a VHS tape with her and Sonic and like,
yeah,
everybody.
making out.
Totally.
Yeah, and they
Yes.
did. I remember seeing that.
As a 12-year-old, that was totally what I watched.
That actually goes into a later question we've got in the show. All right, so.
Oh God.
So, without further ado, I think we've had some fun catching up. But why don't we get to our first question? Is that okay, Miss Johnson?
I guess it's not like a care.
All right, Buck. All right. Well, this one comes from a nice girl named Deborah. Or if you're a nice man or whatever you want to be, I love you no matter what, Deborah. You're a beautiful person. Just know you. Thanks for watching for our show. Hey, Jax and Katy. Love your show. My question is this. Since Dragon Ball inspired shows like One Piece, Naruto, My Hero Academia, One Punch Man, etc., if it didn't exist, do you think those shows would exist in a different form or would they not exist at all? All right, so that is actually a really good question.
On existential, like, man, if the universe didn't exist, like, do you think our universe would exist?
Well, it's like, this is how I look at it. So, because I love the fact that my favorite series was the granddaddy of all these other series. People who say, like, my favorite show is Naruto. You wouldn't have Naruto without Goku, so you sit your ass down, little kid. So it's just one of those things where I look at it and I go, that is very interesting because you do have to realize there's so much, like, these Oda, Masashi Kishimoto, like Yusuke Murata, all these people, that even though Yusuke Murata didn't create One Punch Man, is what one did. It's just like those things where they used to read the manga actively when they were children, and it inspired them to start making their own manga and their own stuff. So it's just like, if it never existed, would it inspire that spark to them to make their series?
Think one thing to also think about here is, like, Dragon Ball was also inspired by something that came before it. Like,
Journey of the West.
Oh, I thought that might be it too, but I thought Akira was another inspiration for him.
Well, Akira, the thing about Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, is he was No, I know Akira. You mean Akira with the cycle. I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about, like, Akira Toriyama. Like, he was very much how do I say that? A writer who liked to make stuff up as he went along. Like, the reason you have the Android arc is literally because he saw Terminator in theaters and like, that'd be a cool arc. Like, that's literally why he got the arc going. So he was very much one of those type of creators. And a lot of the stuff he, like, made up as he went along. Like, he was just like, I didn't like Vegeta, but people like it.
But I think the point that I was going for there is, like, that he had multiple inspirations, like Journey to the West, and Akira was another thing that he saw that kind of inspired him to start that. And I believe that some of the other mangaka had seen other pieces of work that also similarly inspired them, because I think the creator of Naruto, Masashi Kishimoto, also said he drew some inspiration from Akira. So I think my answer to this question would probably be that it's likely that these shows might have still come to be, but they might have been very different, because Journey to the West, like you said, was an inspiration for Dragon Ball, but I think it also served as a baseline for some of these other shows too. And I think that it would be possible for us to maybe have, like, a different experience with it if Dragon Ball didn't happen. But whether or not I don't know how much the creation of, like, for example, One Piece was given to seeing Dragon Ball. Like, was it just another inspiration along the way, or was it the thing that made him decide to be a mangaka?
Well, like Luffy, like, literally. So, I mean, like, I guess I see what you're saying. Like, did that inspire with that he still be, like, drawing and stuff like that? Because I know, like, Luffy and Naruto are straight, like, Goku clones in a sense. Like, they made the characters designed off of Goku's personality traits and stuff like that. Like, they straight up say that, like, numerous times. You can look up, like, oh yeah, Naruto's based off this. No. Even All Might is based off Goku, which is funny. It's it's like really funny. I think it's a very good question, because it's like, if I didn't have this thing, like, maybe it would be different. Maybe it would be called, like, ramen or something. What Naruto's like a fish cake or something like that.
Fish
so
cake.
It's just, so it's like, it'd be called something like that. But I don't think his personality would be the way it is. Like, same with Luffy. I don't think Luffy's personality would be the way it is at all. Like, if Goku didn't exist, like, because, like, you can very clearly, like, see, like, when you compare the characters, like, I see the aspects of why they said that was clearly inspired by Goku. So it's like, it's very cool in this, and that's why I always give respect.
But I'd be curious to hear more about these other series, and if their creators were inspired to draw manga in general by Dragon Ball, or if just seeing it gave them inspiration story-wise, because that would be a very interesting detail to take note of for this question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I agree. Because who knows? Yeah, because I definitely think My Hero Academia came a little later than some of these other ones. So maybe it would have still been here regardless of Dragon Ball. But if
My Hero
weren't
Academia
created by because of Dragon Ball, then maybe it wouldn't have.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because it's like My Hero Academia is clearly influenced by stuff like Naruto and other stuff.
Exactly.
But like their characters,
but without Dragon Ball.
Yeah, without Dragon Ball. So it's like a cycle. You take out the chain, then you wouldn't have the others. So it's just like, like it would be very different. So that's an interesting question. With their artistic bloom, I'm going to say they probably would do something, but I don't think it would reach the level of success they would do if they weren't like, taking influence from Dragon Ball. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I definitely think that we would still have some of these iconic pieces, but they would definitely be a little different. Mm-hmm. And maybe Akira Toriyama would have gone on to create some other series that would have been inspirational, or maybe it would have flopped, because like it's all about luck sometimes. Mm-hmm. in the scheme of some of those things. Like it's about having the talent, and then
he was already a millionaire.
Little luck to be seen. Oh yeah,
I don't know much when about he went before he did Dragon Ball, he did Dr. Slump with a girl.
Oh yes,
Rayleigh.
I know that series. Yeah.
So he was already like a millionaire before Dragon Ball. So Dragon Ball was like a second thing like he wanted to do. And so like it literally he could have been like, you know what, I've got enough money, I'm good. But now it's just like he's got so much money. It's like a dump truck full of money every single day.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome to like create something like so great where you just like, oh yeah, every day I just get like a dump truck full of money in the front yard. It's just like I have so much to do with it. I just don't need. I have like literally so much. It's like that guy who created Amazon, Jeff Bezos. He's like, I got so much money, I don't know what to do with it. Or like but the thing is Akira Toriyama is sort of like pulling that J.K. Rowling shit of just like, oh yes, well you know what we gotta. Well, actually, the reason they could turn into Super Saiyans is because of the S cells in their body. Oh, you never specified this for the 20 years before. Oh no, I know. I think it sounds cooler now, so I'm gonna make it. It's just.
Oh my god.
Oh god, Kira.
So are you saying that Akira Toriyama is now confirming the sexual histories of every character?
Oh yeah. Well, there's a reason Dumbledore's called the headmaster. So.
There's a reason Vegeta is called Vegeta.
Oh, those girls! Bulma can attest to that.
Got him. But anyway, speaking of, I don't have a segue for this one.
Speaking of pounding it.
Got it. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take us to our next question.
Take it.
And it was a pretty long email, but I kind of shortened it a little bit so that we could read the good bits. Mm-hmm. But it essentially says, hey guys, if I continue to improve with my boxing, so this person likes to box, I plan to make it my dream to hopefully go professional one day. I want to be my own hero in an anime. I know it's a long shot, but I'm willing to put my all of blood, sweat, and tears and sacrifice for this goal. Everything to do with fitness literally gives me butterflies. But here's the thing. I know my mother wouldn't support this goal of mine because it's not high on the job market. She'd rather I become a doctor or a lawyer. Even if I do not achieve this big goal, I have my cushion. Do you think it's a good idea to pursue it despite what my mother would think? How do you propose I'd go about starting this goal? Sincerely, Yugi.
Okay, that is a good question, my dude. You want to have the Ippo route because, like, that is the thing. Like, fighting, if you're great at it, is one of the most, like, highest paying sports you can do because it's like, it's literally you versus another person, and if you become popular in it, then you can like get like a ton of money and sell out stadiums and all this stuff, and then you can become like Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor, like some of the highest paid athletes are fighters. So yeah, that is a thing right there. Here's the thing. First off, you got to be honest with yourself where you like go like, do you truly want this? Like, okay, because here's the thing about fighting. While it is like, the great thing, like, I'm just gonna give you a lot of warnings first. So this is what you have to tell yourself, like, do you want to do this? Because like with fighting, you will eventually, because it's a fighting, you will get like hit. You could get like, broken bones, broken eye sockets, broken ribs, swollen joints, have injuries, or possibly develop CTE if your guard isn't good enough. That's like a brain disorder where your brain has just been hit so many times times, like the concussions like start to eat away at your brain. Like the whole movie Concussion with Will Smith is about this. So like you have to make yourself very clear. Do you want this type of life for yourself? If the answer is yes, you know what you want, by all means follow your dreams, but you got to work hard. You got to train your ass off. Because remember, the thing is, like, all these other people, they want just as much as you. And like there are people who come from, some of the best fighters are the ones who start at the very bottom. Like some fighters, are just blessed from the beginning. Like, Floyd, like had a dad who was a great boxer who trained him from like a little kid. And he's just like really great defensive boxing. And he's just become like this, the richest boxer, like the first billionaire boxer and some crazy thing like that. So like there's always that to like go with. But then there are some people who like, Mike Tyson or like other people who like Manny Pacquiao, they started from like literal poverty, or Conor McGregor, and they like had that poverty. Like my life is horrible right now. My life is just shit. My life, I cannot do anything with my life. I want to find this is my outlet to get out of here, and I will fight with my every fiber of my being to make sure I can get to the top. So they use that as fuel. Like you'll be going up against a lot of people like that who came from nothing, and they have like a bigger eye of the tiger if you use it. Like some people get like, oh, I'm blessed, I can do all this stuff. So you have to make sure you don't get lazy with your stuff. You got to make sure you're always like focusing on improving, because you want to be the best you possible. Like there are people out there who have like just that edge, like the very much Apollo Creed said, that edge, that eye of the tiger, where it's like, I've got nothing to lose, this is all I got, so I'm gonna put everything in my all in this fight. Like some people are even willing to like die. Like there are people who die of exhaustion during fights because it's just like, I'm not gonna give up, I need this for myself, my family, and all this. And that's how they're able to raise the top. So if you're just living like a middle class life where you're like, oh, I'm just, going through this, you can do it, but you just have to realize the work ethic. Like you have to put in the work.
And when I hear when I hear him talking about like this is something that he might want to turn full time, etc., it's like, ask yourself, what experience do you have right now? What experience do you need to gain? And you don't have to set right off the bat the goal of, I'm going to be a quote unquote famous fighter that's full time fighting and ring. Like you don't have to set it at necessarily that goal immediately. That can be a future goal, but focusing on those small goals, like, okay, I need to get to this level of physical fitness. I need to be able to do this much physical activity. I need to be able to bench whatever. I need to be able to do fights one-on-one with people. Like you can start small and build up and see, how you do kind of against others, and you can keep working at it. But I think another element of the question too is like talking about like his how his parents will feel and having like financial cushions and stuff. Oh. And I think one thing to take into consideration when it comes to like, you're having dreams, especially about stuff that isn't necessarily financially viable, is that it's okay to like at first not 100%
dive
like,
into it.
Say I'm gonna go live on the streets and do this. Like if there are people that do that and they understand the risk they're doing there, but it is okay to just be like, you don't necessarily have to go lawyer or doctor route, but if you just need to do something to make money on the side and then do this thing that you love on the other side, that's okay until you can turn it into something financially stable.
Yes. Can I bounce off of that real quick?
Yeah.
All right, so like for me, this is my thing. So a lot of people always ask me about my stuff. So I think I've told this story several times before, but I used to work at Burger King full time for 6 years. I worked there from 2010 to 2016, from age 19 to 25. I was going to college full time and I was working there full time. But on the side, I always knew I wanted better for myself. Like I knew like I couldn't do that. I didn't have the resources to do that yet. So I would do various things. Like I would just I didn't want to reach a level of complacency where I was like working Burger King for 30 years, and that's what you want to do. That's completely fine. But for me, I always knew that there was something bigger for me out there. So what I did was, while I was going to college full time, I did side stuff like personal training on the side, getting my money built up. So I'm like all getting other resources. I'm working in school and college, like learning all this stuff about fitness, increasing my brain capacity, and just like becoming more intelligent with this stuff, so I'm actually competent. And I was just uploading videos. Now in 2016, I had graduated college, and that's when I started focusing on my YouTube channel, and I decided, I'm going to go with this YouTube thing. I'm tired of working here. I don't want to work at Burger King anymore. I've been here 6 years, and so I gradually, what I did was I decided I'm going to save up to at least $10,000. I want to keep $10,000 saved, because like that way I can focus on my YouTube channel, and I can focus on growing and not like worrying about
Yeah.
like I can focus on like being like a comedy. If I have 10,000 put away, I don't have to worry about money for a while if I'm doing like the personal training stuff and all this other stuff, and then like I just add on top of that. And I just worked that entire year. I was doing my YouTube videos, like not giving up. I was keeping at it. I was grinding. I was fucking going at it because I knew I wanted something to do, but I was still going working full time at Burger King. And then in August of that year, my YouTube channel finally took off, and I got like this huge growth spurt of people following my channel. And I was actually, that was like the luck part, because the luck part was once I got 60,000 people following me, I was able to monetize my YouTube channel to a point where I was able to get enough money from it. And then I was able to get people to donate on Patreon, and I was getting more clients for personal training. And so I was able to have more sources of income. And then at the end of 2016, I was at a point where I was like, you know what? I'm done working here. I think I'm good. And the part was a bit like, I was a bit nervous at first because, you know, my parents let me like stay with them, and they were like, okay, you have to have a job if you're staying with us, of course. But like, they wouldn't kick me out or anything. They love me, but it's just like, you have to have a job. And I was nervous because I was like, I don't have like a full-time job like here. I quit, but I'm making good money doing this. And, you know, my mom was worried at first, but like my dad was like, oh, okay, as long as you're making money from here, then, you know, you do your thing, boy. But it was a thing where I just had to believe in myself. And then because I had that time off and I had saved up, I was able to focus more on my work. And the thing is, like, if you're self-employed, that doesn't mean you get to lay off, like, or be lazy. Like, you still got to put the hours in, sometimes arguably more hours in when you're like working by yourself. There's a lot of stuff you got to do, but like, that's what I did. I focused on using my side hustle, then having enough from my side hustle to quit the main thing, and then focus on the thing I was passionate about. And now I have like 300,000 subscribers. I'm making good money. I'm able to do all this other stuff, but I'll just never put all your eggs in one basket. Like, that's the thing. Like, I always tell people who I know you're talking about boxing, but like, I always tell people this for YouTube too, never put all your eggs in one basket, because some people will like literally quit their jobs and start doing a YouTube channel. It's just like, that isn't the smartest thing to do, because like, if you don't have money saved up, you're gonna like burn out. And YouTube is like pretty much a luck thing. You should never go into YouTube like, I'm going to become a famous YouTuber or something like that. I made a lot of money. Like, that's the wrong mentality for it. Usually what happens is you do something you love, and then it eventually starts to pay off. Like with boxing, it's going to be the same way. Like, you got to go at it, grind at it, and then just become really good at what you're doing. And then you start making money, and then you just keep that eye of the tiger. Keep your eye of the tiger.
But if your mom is, or like, if someone's pressuring you to maybe do like doctor work or lawyer work, that's a lot of money into student loans and like, and college and stuff, that like, if you don't feel like that's the path you want to commit yourself to, that's perfectly reasonable, because those are professions that the amount of money you have to put in afterwards, the amount of work you have to get just to pay off what you did there, unless you're like magically rich, in which case you don't have a problem.
Like, you know, you win the lottery or something.
But like, if those aren't professions that interest you, if you maybe want to give college a try, and just for like maybe some physical fitness stuff, like Jordan has like degrees in that, and maybe get
recertified every 2 years.
Get you like a degree. Heck, community colleges, I highly recommend. I went to a community college and then transferred to a 4-year, and getting scholarships on that, especially like trying to look at like the physical fitness programs. I think definitely giving your time to this thing that you love, but looking at other potential options of things that you can do just to be financially stable, but give your main focus to the other thing, like, that can be a way to do it until you get to a point where you feel like you can take that leap on yourself. Like, for example, with Comic-Con, the largest convention in Alabama, the people that run the con, they do the con full time, but they also work like in like the service industry on the side. So like the directors of the largest convention in Alabama work full time on the con during the year, and then part time at like a food place. So like, it's interesting to see how there's many people in the world that can define success in different ways, and you'd think that, oh man, if I'm not doing this 100% of my time, then I guess I'm not doing it right. And it's like, no, you can mix up the amount of time that you give to things. That's what you have. Your life is like your life is customizable. You can make changes. You can do whatever you need to do for you. You're in control to an extent. Of course, you know, when money stuff can get involved, there's lots of stuff that needs to be looked at, but there will always be time to do the things you love in some way, even if it's like, oh, maybe I'll just give an hour a day to this, and you can keep building on that and researching how you can make it go further. It's just like, yeah, there will be a time where it's like, okay, maybe I'm going to put some eggs into this basket for a little bit, you know, after you've worked up experience or whatever you've needed to do to get to that point. Because there are people out there that, you know, they take that jump, but it's after they've maybe looked at their options for a while and made like an educated decision here. And it's not just random, I'm going to be famous or I'm going to get lucky. Like, as long as you try to be, I guess, a little smart about it, you have a lot of options.
Agreed. 100%.
So yeah, I think we kind of answered the question. Oh, yeah, we did. One more part of it too.
Okay.
I know that your mom is probably very important to you and what they think might matter to you a lot, but in the end, this is your life, and it's great to have people that support you in what you want to do, but if she doesn't 100% support you, as long as it makes you happy and you don't feel like you're like mooching or doing anything that's like wrong in order to get to this goal, then it shouldn't matter what they think. And I know that can be like hard to hear because I've been there before where it's like, oh gosh, I worry about what X, Y, or Z thinks, but my mom is very supportive of the stuff that I'm trying to do. And I hope that yours is too, but if she's not, just try to do what you feel is best for you until you can be in a situation where you're independent and can do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Katie put the sprinkles on that Sunday. Oh.
Sprinkles. Speaking of
sprinkles. Speaking of spring rains. Oh, this question.
Jordan's so much better in segues than I am.
Yeah. Everlasting Sword asks, since April is coming up, and that means April Fool's Day, what is the goofiest story that has happened to either of you? Oh, I have a great one. I don't know if I've told Katie about this before, but I have a great one.
Tell it to me while I think of one.
Did I ever tell you the kayak story?
I don't think you have, Jordan.
Oh God, this is something I would pay at a godly sum for footage of this day. I really wish I could. So this is what happened. Back in 2000, I want to say 9-ish, I had just graduated from high school. So I was like, I graduated and, or actually I think it was prior. So it was 2008, 2009, I forget. But, I was going to go visit my good friend Zane, and Zane was like a really good friend. He was
he really zany?
He actually kind of is, but no, he was the first guy I went to the gym with starting 2016. Like I always say, like, oh, he was like my trainer back in like 2000. 2007? Yeah, that was because he took my nerdy stuttering ass to the gym when I was like. Yeah, like he took my ass to the gym. So I was like, yeah, we would start going to the weight room and play football together. Yeah, he was an awesome guy. So he was a really good friend, and I have this other friend called Rue, who's this tall Indian guy, my good friend, best friend, love him like a brother. And Zane invited both of us up, because he's good friends with both of us, to his house to say, yo, you guys, let's go up to Maine. Let's have a good time and catch up. And I was like, oh yeah, let's go. So me and him go up, and then he invited his other friend, Glenn, and we were like, oh, we haven't met Glenn yet, but let's all go. And we meet Glenn, and he's cool. And so we would go, and we all meet each other, and we become like the Jersey Boys, and that's our thing. Like we all just hang together, and that's our squad of just it's Glenn, me, Rue, and Zane. And we were all having fun there, talking to Zane's family. And I think we were at a dinner or something like that. And his mother brings up hey guys, you want to go kayaking this weekend? The river to the border to Canada and Maine is right up there. And so this is where I'm like, I'm kind of nervous. I've never been kayaking before. And then my friend Rue's like, dude, it's not a big deal. It's pretty awesome. And Zane's like, yeah, dude, me and my girl going. Glenn's just, super chill about it. And so we go up there, and this is where all of Zane's family members are. So there's 20 people there, 20 freaking people are there. And it's just all this stuff. And we're all getting in our kayaks ready. We got our life vests on, and it's so interesting. And it was just oh, okay. This is going to be cool. This is going to be fun. But so I am just paranoid because I don't know, I've seen all those alligator movies. I don't know. I think there's alligators in every body of water. I think there's crocodiles or alligators, something that'll eat you in various bodies of water. So I was just super paranoid. And when I got into the first kayak, something was wrong with the first kayak. It was actually had a hole in it. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not feeling comfortable at this. And my friend Rue was like, dude, It's okay, man. Like, come on, let's do it. So Glenn, he's done kayaking before, so he like goes off by himself. Our friend Zane is with his girlfriend at the time, and he goes off with himself. Then the mother goes off, and then like the dad is behind us, and then like his cousins and grandma are all getting in their kayaks. And so me and him, like, they set us off, and like we're going down, and we start kayaking, and I'm like feeling pretty good. Like 10 minutes go by, like, wow, this is actually kind of fun. This is relaxing. Like I'm seeing all the beautiful trees and stuff like that, seeing like deer in the woods, and then this is where
oh god,
this happens. So when you're in bodies of water like that, there's naturally going to be, you know, rapids, like fast water for people who don't know. And so we start going over these rapids, and I'm like having fun, but then like we go over the rapids, some water gets into the boat. And I'm just like, oh, okay, some water splashed in. My friend Rue's like, oh, shit, bro. Like, water's getting in here. I'm like, dude, calm down. It's fine. Like, we're good. Some more water gets in the boat. Like, dude, no, seriously. I think, like, the boat's got, like, a hole in, like, the other one. I'm like, no, dude, we're fine. It's just, like, then a big splash of water gets in the boat. And, like, our midsections, our, like, legs are, like, all wet. And it's just like, abort. So he jumps off the boat. Whoa. He jumps off the boat, and I'm like, what? Because I'm underwater now, because like when he jumped off, the kayak tipped over, so I'm still stuck in the kayak, and I'm underwater. Like, what the fuck happened? And there are 20 people here. I swear to God, I'm not making the story better for anyone. This is exactly what happened. So I'm like confused. I'm like, what the heck? And so I try to get up, and I got all this like dirt and stuff in my eyes, because like we're rapid still. The rapids are like so powerful at this point, because I've never been in rapids before, so I don't know. And so like I'm like trying to open my eyes, I'm like, Roo! And I'm smacking into all of these rocks in the water. So I'm like, boom, like going down the stream, like smacking into all these rocks. I'm like, Roo! And then like I finally just stop, and I plant my feet down, and I realize the water is like 5 feet deep. And so like I wipe the stuff out of my eyes, and then like I hear Zane's mom like, Roo, grab the paddle. And I look over at him. And so to give people a visual, the rapids are going down horizontally. And my friend Rue is trying to swim vertically to the shore. And so he is stuck in a perpetual motion. And he's like swimming. And he's like 6'2". And we're like, Rue, grab the paddle. And he's like swimming his eyes. He thinks he's gonna die. He's like, he's just like, plant your feet. And so like the grandma comes over, and she tries to give him a paddle. And so like he grabs a paddle, but he's so frantic, freaking out, like, help me. So he like grabs her, and he almost brings the grandma into the water with him. And then like Zane's mom comes over, and she scoops him up with the paddle, and she throws him onto the shore with it. Like she like guides him onto the shore. And like I'm like grabbing onto a rock at this point. Like the water is like rapid, and the water is like going like really fast, and I'm like on a rock waiting for someone to come save me. And so they have to, because like the boats, they can't come back forward. The rapids are going like a certain way. They can't come backwards. And so I'm just like trying to get to him. I'm like, Roo. And so he gets put on land, and I get put on land next to him. And he lost his shoes and his glasses.
Oh no.
And so and so his mom is just like, I can't believe this fucking shit happened, whatever. And then the mom goes like, Rook, just calm the fuck down. Just sit right here. We'll get you back. And so like he had to walk 3 miles back through the forest barefoot.
Oh no.
I had to go. And then when we got home later, after all the adrenaline passed, I just broke down. I was laughing so hard. I could not breathe. I was laughing so goddamn hard, because he genuinely thought he was gonna die in this like 5 feet of water. It was like literally all he had to do was plant his feet. All he had to do was literally plant his feet, and he would have been fine. He's 6'2". He's fine. He would have been like staring above the water, but he just was swimming his ass off. Like he could.
That's amazing.
Oh god. Oh yeah, but that was the goofiest thing that ever happened to me. I would pay for that day. There were 20 people there who can verify that what I'm saying is not bullshit. I didn't make up anything for the story. That is what happened. I was smacked into the rocks. It was beautiful.
I can't think of like, I've had a lot of goofy times in my life, but I can't think of them right now. Like, heck, maybe I'll just try to think of a goofy moment with Jordan or something. Okay. We definitely had plenty of those. What's a goofy
moment with me? There's tons.
Oh God, there's so much gorsh. I think I'm trying to remember when we were at Anime Expo, and you were like dancing as Rock Lee or something.
Oh yeah, I was dancing as Rock Lee. That was really
funny. My story's gonna be super lackluster. Let's see. Oh, we went up to the Super Mega booth, and they signed my Wendy's stuff.
Oh, you mean that one?
That was funny. Oh,
No,
God.
you mean the one where the old lady was like, fresh, never frozen, and you're like, what? And you're like,
And
oh,
then you just, like,
because I'm
didn't
Wendy.
get
You
That was amazing. My face. Yeah, Jordan likes to make fun of me for that moment because there was a lady that like saw I had a fresh gold chain on for my Wendy's cosplay, but she didn't know that I was like cosplaying Wendy. She just was reading the words, and when I said never frozen to make the pun, she was like confused, and then
You're
I
like,
looked
what
confused.
are you talking about?
What are you talking about, lady? I'm just trying to make a pun here. That was a pretty goofy moment.
That was
like
so
whenever
funny.
somebody like makes a joke about my costume, but then they actually don't get it, and I thought that they did, and it's like, oh no, awkward moment, awkward turtle. I guess
so
that's one of
funny.
the goofiest moments, because oh man, I've had plenty. Of course, I just can't think about them.
Oh God, yeah, that con was so great because it was just
That
like
was
we met
just a
so
goofy
many
con.
freaking people. But speaking of advice for people,
Hey,
oh,
excellent
you gotta
segue.
twirl it in there, girl. Ah!
But yes, speaking of awesome people, this next question comes from someone named Socrates or Socratetris or Socratetris.
Socratetris.
So like Socrates, but Socratetris.
Okay.
So I very much appreciate that name, Socratetris. And they are piggybacking off of a question we answered, I believe, in the last episode.
Yes, we did.
About hanging out with groups at maybe a con or wherever you are. Their question is, what's your advice for groups who want to invite that random person to hang? How do you set your boundaries? How do you make sure you don't give off a bad impression? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Love, Socratetris.
Okay. Well, like, I think this is different, like,
Yeah.
for Katie's group versus, like, because I'm not sure. Because, like, I know, like, usually for my group, which at cons is usually, like, Saber, Paleo, Hirasashi, like, all of
Yeah.
us are pretty much, like, and also Laura, Saber's girlfriend, and then Ray sometimes, and then Gabe, like, but yeah, there's just so many people we know. But, like, that's the core group. And our thing is usually we're very introverted. We like to hang with each other because we know each other. We know our personalities. We know how we get along and stuff like that. We prefer, like, if we're going to meet someone and see if we get along, it's, like,
Yeah.
going to be at the con where we meet and see, like, how the conversation goes. But most of the time, like, when we go back to our rooms, we just want to be alone by ourselves. Like, it's not, like, not diss. It's just, like for instance, sometimes like we'll like talk to people, like if we bond real cool, it's like, hey, you want to come back to our place? Well, it's not a big deal. Like if like everyone in the group likes this person, like they like prove themselves like
Yeah.
oh it's likable, then it's like, oh yeah, like great. Like for instance, if like Katy came to our thing, like it was just like, yeah, well, I meant to tell you that, Katy, you're like part of the honorary group thing now because like you like it, you're cool, you're
Heck
funny.
yeah.
So it's one of those type of deals where I guess it just, if it feels natural, like don't try to weasel your way, because I know like some people will do this thing where they go, hey, is it okay if so-and-so comes to hang out with us? And if they want to hang out with us, like at, outside the con, and I mean, like at the con or something like that, then it's
Yeah.
just like, most of us will be like, oh yeah, sure, let's chill. But if it's like during the, decompression time, that's where
Yes.
it's a bit like, okay, well, we have to have a bit of a discussion.
Yeah, I
on that 'cause-
actually have a story related to this particular topic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we have several, so go ahead. Like
Oh
me
my God.
and
It
Saber have been through this
happened-
like countless
oh
times.
God. This is an example of what not to do if you're wanting to invite somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So it was at I'm not gonna like name specific people or anything here because some people might recognize
Listen.
some of the names. But it was at a con 2 years ago, and it was me and maybe 5 other people, and we were in the room and we were playing like one of those like Jackbox games, etc. And like the host of the room, the one that was setting up the game and stuff, he was very like, yeah, we've got like a nice sized group of people here. Let's just like do this. And it was like, late after the con. So we were just all chilling together. And it was like, cool. And everything seemed to be going good. But then my friend I had like said that he could like come with us. Because he didn't know like my friend that was hosting the thing very well, but he was pretty chill, and my friend was like, yeah, it's okay if he comes. So that situation was able to be good because I was able to ask like, hey, is it cool if these people come? And he was like, yeah, as long as it's like a very small group. So we got the
Right.
small group together. But then this friend, we're all sitting on the bed on the floor and stuff, about to start the game. He gets a message from somebody who's like a friend from the con. It's 2 people that they can be kind of socially awkward. Like, not that they're not like, fun people, great to work with, like great, like not that they're bad people or something, but just like they can kind of
come off a bit odd to other people. Okay.
Yeah, they can kind of mess with the vibe. And like I wasn't super close to them. Like, I knew them, and of course I'm friends with them and stuff, but it was just like, I liked having like this small group. Like I could see them another time. But my friend kept like saying to the whole room, "Hey, so these two people want to come. Katy knows them. Can I just like invite them over?" And he's very like straightforward with it. Can I give them the information? They're messaging me. They know that we're partying at the hotel because I had told them I was going.
Right.
And is it okay? And then my friend that's like running the party, he doesn't say like no. He because he doesn't want to come off as rude. He says, I think we've got enough people. I think we've like met like capacity. Like he's very much hinting like don't do it, but he doesn't want to flat out say no.
Right.
And my friend is not getting the hint.
Oh,
my
God.
My friend is like repeatedly saying like, so is that like no, like is it okay if I just tell him? I mean, I just want to tell him like Katy knows them, like they're pretty cool people, and I chime in with like, oh, I think Brent's saying like maybe we've got like a good number of people, like we'll see them another time. He is not getting the hint. He's like pushing it like,
oh God,
so
I hate those.
Like he keeps asking, so, and like he's doing it in this way that's like I can't tell if he can actually understand what's happening. Like, and he keeps repeating like, so can I invite them? And I'm just like, dude, how do you? And Brent, my friend keeps repeating, I almost said his name. My main friend keeps repeating like, I think we're at a good capacity here. And it's a cycle. It's a cycle. It keeps happening. And eventually he ends up giving them the information and they show up and and we're trying to be cool, like, and my friend just isn't understanding that we were trying to say no. But, that could maybe be on us for not just saying no. But I feel like we made it pretty clear how many times we repeated, I think we're at capacity.
Oh, well, let me ask you this, and I'm not saying this in like a disrespectful sort of way. Is that friend like a bit on the, the spectrum or anything like that? Or
I don't think so. Although they do give me a vibe sometimes that like maybe they don't understand certain social situations, but generally they're pretty cool. But like I don't think that they're necessarily on. I mean, if they are, like that's fine. I just have never personally thought that.
Okay, because I know some people just don't get the hint of just like, no, because I understand that. Like, sometimes I just got to be polite. Like, my friend, funny enough, my friend Henry is like the one who's just like, look, I don't know you that well, so I'm just going to say no right now, but you have a good con, okay? But, like, for me, I'm just like, because I know the first time for me, I was like telling my friend, a person I met at the con, I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go back to the room. It's like, oh, I'll come with you. And I'm just like, nah, we're just gonna go do this thing. It's just like, oh, like, wait, so, like, can I just get the room now? Like, no, man, whatever. It's just like, dude, we're all like, just trying to chill in
it's
the
like
room.
you don't want to flat out say no, don't come with us. You want to try to put it in a way.
You try to be polite in an understanding way.
Like that meme you sent me, like, so what are you getting up to later? That's like your invitation to leave.
Yes, your invitation to leave. It's just like, so what you about to get into? All right. It's just like, it's
like, understand those, try to pick up on those cues, because this situation kind of turned into, I mean, they showed up and it was like, okay, like it was just kind of awkward because everybody had been trying to convey politely that we just kind of, it's not that there was anything necessarily against these people, it was just like we just wanted to have kind of a small thing.
Can I say something? Because I know they probably won't listen to it. Like, I won't say any names either. But me and Katy had this incident where I was fine with it. Like, I won't say the full thing, but what happened was we were doing an activity at a thing. Like, it was like a fun activity we were doing. And when we were all doing it, I thought it was just going to be our group, and then two people showed up, and I was just like, "Oh, is this okay?" Because I didn't realize at first, because I had texted them, like, because they were my friends I was talking to throughout the con, and they were like, so are you guys doing this activity? And I was like, we're going to go do it, and like if anyone wants to go. But they replied like an hour later, so I didn't know if they were still coming, so I thought it was just going to be me, Katy, and Katy's group of friends, and then they show up. And at first, I've like had this like, oh no, oh god, Katy, I hope her friends aren't mad or anything like that. It's just like I was just like, I hope Katy doesn't have to pay extra for this. So like I went out there and I was like, whoa, let me go talk to the person.
Oh, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Because I remember that I was just like, let me go talk to the person because I want to make sure it's okay. Because like at first I was like, oh god, I hope it was. Oh, that was a situation where I had,
especially when it's situations with like, because we were doing an activity that like you had to pay per person, and like I was, everybody was gonna split it with me later, but I was like the card that it was on, so I was like, okay, is this for sure the amount of people coming? And then it like, they showed up. Not that I necessarily had anything against them per se, but like, yeah, it did definitely make me like, oh god, oh no. Is everything gonna be okay?
Yeah, because I was just like, okay, I just use my card then. Like, I was about to be like, yeah, just use my thing then, because like it was cause we had a fun time. Like we all had a great time.
It turned out fine.
Yeah, it turned out fine, but it was just like that brief second of just like, oh. Well, it was like slow motion, like, oh, my heart is sinking, because I didn't know Katy's friends all that well, so I didn't know how they would react. Like, I was just like, okay, I mean, it worked out fine in the end. So there we go.
Everybody had a good time, and like we ended up, I think, like splitting it later.
Yeah,
like we used, everything like turned out fine. But yeah, I guess from the synopsis of those two stories, try to understand. Be empathetic towards like people if they're needing to go have compressed time, etc. Like if you're in like a public setting, etc., and maybe you want to like talk for a minute, that's okay. Like it's okay to maybe be like, hey, do you want to like walk around for a little bit, but make sure that you don't try to pressure someone into being with you, or that you don't try to get them into situations where they feel obligated or where you feel obligated. Like that's why.
And don't be a tail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because a tail is something. Though, here's a funny story. Like, well, I remember one of my times my friends were actually the tail, and I realized they were the tail, and I was just like, well, I'm gonna go, because like
oh, no.
it was when I don't think he minds if I tell this story, because Saber Spark was talking about it. We always joke about this anyway, but it was like when Saber first met his girlfriend Laura. I remember we all went to this party. And we were all there like hanging out together, and then I got the vibe that Saber's trying to talk to Laura, this girl, and so I was just like, I understand what's going on here. So like me, I know how to like take a hint, and like I was just like, all right, have fun, bro. And then like I left the room, but the other two they were just staying there like talking, and I gave them a look like, come on guys, but they just like didn't get that. We make jokes about this all the time, but it's funny. But like they're in a very loving relationship. They love each other. We all make jokes about it, but I just thought that was a funny time. But don't be the tail. Like if you realize some people just want to be left alone, just like, because I understand again, like this isn't diss on people who are a bit, don't have the social capabilities, like on the spectrum, where they don't understand the social cues that, I shouldn't go with this person to their room when I don't, I've just been talking to them this time. Because like I know for me, what usually happens is because, and I'm not trying to use this ego thing, but like with my group of people at like say HorseCon, a lot of people always like group around us because like we're like well known, and sometimes we just like, okay, we're gonna go get some food now, and those people will sometimes follow, and it's just like I mean, so like I've become like sort of the Wolverine of the group, where I'm just like, all right, look dude, we're just trying to go eat alone here, so you're gonna have to go off, like, sorry man, nothing personal, but that's what it is. So I just, because I feel like that just saves so much time instead of like dance around the bush now. But like again, just like ask a person if it's okay. Like just say, is it okay if I come? And it's just like, no, if it isn't, it's fine. If it is, just that's what it is. Just like,
I think it's important if you're trying to like be an extra person in a situation, or if you're trying to invite an extra person in a situation, to be empathetic and always preface it with like, hey, would it be cool if blank? If not, that's totally fine. I just thought we were having fun and I wouldn't mind hanging out with you more. But if not, I can see you later. Like, try to make sure that you phrase it in a way that's not putting someone into a corner. Mm-hmm. Try to do it in a way where everybody can feel like good about it. And if you feel close to this person and you want to ask directly, like, hey, can I come back to your room later? And if they give you a direct answer, that could be one thing. But if you seem to hear that like, oh, maybe we're just wanting it to be smaller, etc., that doesn't necessarily mean, oh god, they hate you and blah blah blah. It might just mean maybe you're not that close to them yet, or maybe they're
they just need some
to...
decompression time. Like everyone needs some decompression time.
And that's okay. And don't like try to make it like an aggressive thing or anything like that. Just be like, oh, cool. Would you want to maybe hang out later? And if they're like, yeah, or maybe not, then it's like, yeah, you can just see where it goes. It doesn't have to be like they commit all of their time to you, or you commit all of your time to them. It can just, because especially at cons, like social events, there's a lot of people to see. And so whenever I get messages from people that are like, hey, let's hang out or do whatever, I generally if they're just asking like, hey, let's like go talk or get lunch or do whatever, I'm generally cool with like, if it's at the con, like maybe we'll do a little walk around or go to this panel or whatever. But if somebody asks me, like, and it's somebody that I maybe like, we might be close and stuff, but like sometimes I don't want to leave the con. And if they're like, hey, can you commit this 4-hour time slot to me to go get dinner? Sometimes even if it's somebody that I do like hang out with a lot, I might say no, not because I hate them or something, but like because, oh, I wanted to do this panel or I wanted to see this person during this time, but maybe we could go like get a snack together later. Like sometimes just because somebody doesn't want to give you like their full like attention at one of these events, it doesn't mean like, oh God, they're outcasting me or they hate me or whatever. Like, because I know it's easy to go to those bleh, to those mindsets when you want to see people. Like, because one example I can think of about somebody like kind of getting their expectations very high and it creating a stressful situation for them was my friend. Bleh, there's something in my throat.
That's okay.
I'm a froggy today. Have a frog in my throat. But
okay,
one
Kermit.
Situation that I saw. Heidi ho. I wish I could do it. Hi ho.
Hi ho.
Kermit the Frog here.
Kermit the Frog here.
But yeah, I guess one story that I'll end it on, and then you can maybe tell another one if you want, is kind of about setting those boundaries. Is I had a friend that he really wanted to see his other friend at the con, but this other friend was kind of guesting at the convention, and it was like a few months back. This other friend was like guesting and stuff and was running around doing a lot, and this friend and this other person had said that they might go driving around like to look at like cool tea sets or something later. I don't know. They had said that they were going to maybe do something later, but the friend, well, one's a girl, one's a guy. The girl is a guest and the guy is, they're just friends, but the guy doesn't get to see her very much because she's doing a lot of stuff. And essentially he got very upset when she like had to, like she had other commitments going on at the con, and she had said before that her plans were a little spotty and that she might not be able to commit as much time. And just seeing how like sad he was, like when he tried to put all of that weight on them going and doing this thing at the convention, which a con is a very busy time, it was like a very red flag thing when I saw my friend going through this of like, oh no. And it wasn't me in this situation. It is actually two friends, because I've only guested at like one con and it was like a 200 person con. But like essentially seeing the pressure that they put on that situation to try to get this person like to commit some hours of time to them when they're like guesting and doing all this stuff at the con, I was just like, don't be that person. Like don't put all of your eggs
in one basket.
Into that time basket, especially because like it's okay if maybe have loose expectations with some of that stuff. Like, because when I go to events, my expectation when it comes to seeing people is if I can see you, say hi, maybe have like a little conversation, that would be great. If we do more together, that would be double great. But I understand that everybody has their different things that they're doing at these events. And so it's not realistic for me to be like, commit this giant slot of time to me. Like, but it's okay if you have somebody that like you're close to be like, oh, do you want to get dinner later? But if they're like, oh, I'm not sure, that doesn't mean I never want to see you. I don't want to get dinner. It just means maybe not right now because I'm busy and I'm doing this thing. But if we randomly decide to, that's okay. Like a lot of plans at cons can sometimes be random because you're keeping like your time open. So yeah, those are kind of some advice nuggets of my thoughts.
No, I agree. Like Katy said it perfectly, just learn your thing and, just ask questions, because like sometimes you just want to get back to the room and let something spicy happen. But speaking of something spicy.
I knew you were going to do that.
See, I'm like the wind baby with the swirl. Right. I don't know what that means, but it sounded
Warning,
cool.
the following question is rated PG-13.
PG-13? Or is it? No, don't get me on that shit. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Got him.
Okay. All right, this one comes from Devil Bunny. And this is, let me put on my sultry voice. All right, hey, I have a spicy question for y'all two. What was the first time you ever realized something aroused you, that it made you feel like, I decay? Why? But I like that. Oh, this is really spicy, my co-host.
I don't think I'm gonna get graphic with this one, but
go ahead. I'll get graphic as fuck with this.
I mean, because I don't know if I want to, but the show Big Mouth, I think, did a really good job. At,
with the fucking like the talking, you know what?
You might have actually just predicted my exact story.
Okay. Oh god.
So in Big Mouth, what's the little girl that loves Nathan Fillion?
Oh, the redhead girl.
No, she's like has. Little
the little one with the braces that she talks like this. Oh, I love her. Nathan Fillion. Oh god, I can't. Oh damn it. I know her name. I can't remember, but she's voiced by Jenny Slate. I know that.
Okay. Well, she was one of my favorite characters. I highly recommend watching Big Mouth if you want to learn more about the world.
It's a stupid show, but it's funny.
It's good. It tells a lot of good stories and puts things into perspectives, even though. Yeah.
Call me. Mama, don't call me, but call me.
You the man, Steve.
You think I'm a genius, man?
But yeah, I think her story, like the little girl with braces that's like...
Yeah, she's really great.
Oh, she's really great. She had a story about like...
humping her backpack.
Not the backpack. Like she had like this little like stuffed animal or something.
Oh, the glowworm.
Yeah. Like I think I had a similar experience when I was like really young. And
oh, Mr. Teddy.
No, I don't think it was a Teddy. I don't remember what it was. But like I had a similar experience and I think but I didn't understand what it meant.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that it felt good, but I didn't know what it was. Like
right.
So I was just like, oh, hell yeah. So I don't think I could count that as necessarily feeling quote unquote aroused because I didn't have a word for it. Like I just knew it felt good. I just like, you know, if you get like your head scratched or something, it's like it feels nice. It didn't
especially on men.
Yeah. Fuck damn it. But yeah, God. I think the first time I figured out, oh, like this is equivalent. This is like sexy thing. This isn't just like feels good. This is like a sexual thing.
Right.
And this is going to be some trash, but it's another reason that I'm like her.
Oh, God, I gotta hear
She liked Nathan Fillion. I really liked Naruto.
Oh, guys. You freaking would. Oh, you weeb.
It wasn't Naruto the character, though. It was, like, I liked the show, but he didn't do much for me. But, okay. I read fan fiction.
Mm-hmm.
I read Naruto, like, Truth or Dare. Like, there was a website called Quizilla.
Okay, yeah, I remember Quizilla.
Yeah, and I think I got into Naruto like late elementary school, early middle school. Like I think maybe 5th grade is when I was like Naruto. It's my shit.
Right.
And I don't know how old I was in 5th grade and all that stuff, but I definitely remember.
I know for me. Well, yeah, if you're in 5th grade, then you're like 11 or 10.
Okay, so it was probably around that time that I started. It was in middle school that I found the internet, and I would read fan fiction, and then I would write fan fiction about Naruto Truth or Dares, and I think that's when it became like that for me. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, that's my story.
Okay.
I'm trash, and it was Deidara. That was the character.
Oh, you freaking honey.
He was my
shit.
Oh,
honey. Oh God. So the first time I ever popped a Woody, as they would say, Waka Waka, and I was like,
Got him.
What was it? Well, I know the first time, well, I think, let me see, the first time I realized I was attracted to something I shouldn't feel was like, this is going to sound like so furry, but it was like Sally Acorn from Sonic the Hedgehog. For some reason, I don't know why, like, I thought she was, like, what's funny is Kath Souzie, the voice actress of Sally Acorn, also voiced Lola Bunny, and I've gone on record saying I would smash Lola Bunny to bits. I don't care for that's like my furry card. Like, I don't care. That is, I ain't no furry, but that is a card that I would use. She also voiced this girl like Debbie on frickin' Goof Troop, who was fine as hell. So it's weird. She made me voice a lot of animal characters that made me look at myself like I'm not a furry, but yeah, like I have to start a conversation. But let's see. The first time I ever feel like I was super aroused, it was oh god, I know it was a kiss scene. It was a kiss scene during, I forget what it was, because like that's like one of my kinks is just making out. That's like a kink that gets me, so I guess it's from that. But what was it from? I know it was from something. I think it was, God, I cannot, oh god, it was either a cartoon or an anime. Actually it was Freakazoid. Yeah, it was Freakazoid. It was, because it was this episode where he like rescues this girl and he starts making out with her at the end. Well, he doesn't make out like tongue and all that stuff, but he just like grabs her and he kisses her. And for some reason that like made me like something down there move, and I was like, oh, what's going on down there? And then like I started noticing like whenever I saw like kiss scenes and like shows or something like that, it would just make me feel like odd down there. Like I want that to happen to me right now. I want a girl to do that to me right now. And so like I would always feel that way. And then I think the first time I felt like super aroused. This is so gross. But it was like it was this movie called Not Another Teen Movie. It's like this parody movie with Chris Evans, and they're doing this kiss scene, and there's like it's like this tonguing make out scene between this girl called Mia Kirshner and this like old grandma lady, and for some reason like they're like tonguing hardcore. Like, if you go online and look up like Not Another Teen Movie make out scene, it's like a really gross scene of like this old lady making out with like this young 20-year-old girl. For some reason that turned me on so much as a kid. Like I don't know what it was, just the making out part was just like, oh god, that feels nice, whatever. And so it like got that feeling to me, and then like I was just like, I need to see it. And then there were various things. Like, whenever I see, like, I know when, for some reason, I developed, like, a thing of girls kissing that would just, like, make me go, I feel like I want to do something, but I can't do it because I didn't know how to, relieve myself. I was a young kid. I was just like, I feel like I want to do something to this, but I don't know what to do. So I would just get the pent-up feeling. And then it wasn't until, like, I started, like, humping on a pillow that I was like, this feels, and then like this one time, so stupid. I picked it up from Scary Movie though. Was Officer Dewey or something in that movie. He was talking about like, don't disturb me when I'm cleaning my room, and the reason he'd been doing it is because he like would stick his thing in a vacuum, and I would do the same thing. And I remember I cut myself because I accidentally did that. And so yeah, it was like God, and this is a very like what's funny is if I ever meet Corey Coleman, I'm right there with him because like he had the same story where he lost his thing to a vacuum cleaner. That was me too, but like I like cut the top of my. It was horrible, but it was like it was funny. Like that was the first time I was like, oh, I'm gonna try something. But yeah, that was me. That was my first time.
Yeah, like, sexuality for young people, especially depending on like where you were raised, how you were raised and stuff, it can definitely vary. Like when you get sexually educated, if you even get that.
Right.
And I know for me, as a young female in Alabama, I did not exactly get full-on sex education. I don't think my parents ever really fully talked to me about it. I think there was an attempt at one point, but I was just like, but like it was just kind of like and I think the most that I learned was like online and talking with friends, like because I remember in late to early middle school I had friends that were like already having sex. Like, and I was like,
I had friends too who had sex. They were like saying, well, I have dry sex though. But it was like, what the fuck is dry sex? It's where you like have sex with all your clothes on. And I was just like, that's not whatever.
Like I had already decided like that I didn't want to do that because when I heard that pregnancy was a thing, I was like, oh, there goes my anxiety. So you ain't sticking anything in me. And I got lots of pressure, but I just didn't.
Right.
I didn't. But I did do like other stuff. I think I was like 14 when me and my boyfriend, he was like 15, like we were both children and like, we made out and stuff and we looked at each other. Ooh, 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 ooh.
And you held hands. Oh my god.
Yeah, and like, I sucked his dick, but like
wait, what? Oh my god. Wow. Okay. First off, let's say this. Well, sorry. We are all of age right now, so just don't worry about this. This was a long time, and it was between two minors themselves, or whatever.
It's a very real conversation to have, like, because young people are doing that. I'm not saying I condone it. I'm saying that's what young people do.
No, it's true. They will do it eventually. So
yeah, and so when I was in middle school,
did you know how to do it though?
I had heard stories and I wanted to try, and I thought it was pretty good.
Because I remember there was this person. I can't remember who said it, but they like had heard what a blowjob was and they went to give it to their boyfriend. And what they did was they just grabbed this thing and they started blowing on it like.
Yeah. Like we were both very young, and I think it's a reality that like in the world that we're living in, that young people are going to do that stuff, and we should properly educate them and make sure that they know that it's safe. Not that we should encourage like underage children to do that. No. But just understanding that like kids are going to fucking do this shit. You can't stop them. Like that's
no, that's true. Like that's just the thing.
Yeah.
Like you see all those horror movies, teenagers are boning left and right. It's just like just make sure you're wearing a condom.
But if somebody is older and trying to take advantage of somebody that's younger and try to pressure them into that's the shit where they're gonna get the fuck beat out of them. Like no. Like not the young kid, but like the adult that's trying to manipulate them.
Right,
like,
exactly.
That's when it's some
wrong.
shit.
That's fucking wrong.
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
between two
Like,
kids of the same age, then whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna encourage it, but it's like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen whether you like it or
like
not.
just
So
making
it's
sure
like,
that they're properly educated. And it's like, of course
Condoms.
you don't want them to be doing that stuff, but like just them understanding the repercussions, like just making sure they have that knowledge, because throughout history, young kids are gonna try stuff with each other.
Yep.
Like if they have the information, then there's nothing you can do. You can lock them in a room for 20 years if that's what you want to try to do, and they're probably still going to find a way. So it's just like proper education, and like, because we could talk about the moral quandaries forever about stuff, but like in reality, it's okay to be honest about what your experiences were when you were younger. And I definitely didn't have like the proper education that I feel like I would have benefited from. I think it turned out fine because I did luckily not give in to a lot of the peer pressures that I saw, because mostly fear. So they did a good job making me scared.
Fear will make you like not do it.
It's true. The fear did get me, but it didn't stop me from sucking dick. I mean, it
okay,
didn't.
there you go.
It didn't, but it did stop me from getting pregnant, I guess, ? Although it was mostly my super anxiety, because I had friends that were definitely doing everything under the sun at an age they should not have been doing it at. And
yeah, also,
but
I'm not trying to encourage it, but like, because I remember, I didn't lose my virginity.
Well, I was monogamous as well. Like, I had like a boyfriend, and we were together for like 2 years. I think it took 9 months into our relationship before I even thought about looking at a penis. Like it was maybe like he didn't even he didn't even look under my shirt until like a year into the relationship. Like
you didn't show him no boobies until
no boobers until like a year, and that was like for him. Like he didn't want to. Like so, he was a very religious person. Like religion down here really fucks with you when it comes to the sexual. Yeah. So I think it's important to be honest about that stuff and like understand that like everybody has these different experiences, and we can try to ignore like the fact that stuff was going on, but in reality we have to educate children and encourage them and make them understand it's not good for you to be doing this stuff like at this age, but understanding why. Especially.
Exactly. Because like for me, I remember my whole thing was, and I still have this like bit of anxiety, it's just like I am just so against STDs. Like I don't want something where I like have something that is stuck with me the rest of my life. And if you have something like that, by all God, I'm not putting you down or anything like that. Like just for me, that's something that I was thinking, like sometimes I'll just be honest and open up about it. Like sometimes after I have relations with like a woman or something like that, like a part of me is just like, they were clean, right? Like, I always ask like, oh, you got tested, and like I always wear a condom and I was fine, and like sometimes this, but like sometimes like it's just like maybe they don't know, maybe they don't do this, and I like start overthinking and I do all this horrible stuff, so I can't actually enjoy the like process. So it's like a bunch of bullshit. So that's why I say like always, make sure you understand how STDs happen, how they occur to yourself. Always wear a condom if that's what you're interested in. Like you always wear a condom just regardless.
And
like,
if you are underage, if you're underage and somebody that's like a little bit older than you, like if you're 16 and there's somebody that's like in their 20s or something trying to get with you, they are the scum of the earth. Do not trust them. Like, they are just trying to manipulate and use you. And I know that's probably an extreme, like, way that I'm talking right now. But if you are underage and somebody
if you're underage,
like,
don't do it.
Yeah, and you're like 5, and they're like 5 to 6 years older. Like, sure, there can be maybe lines if it's like you're both 17 or you're both. Well, if you're both
Like,
18, there's no problem. But like, if they're like a lot older than you and you're underage, fuck them.
Right.
They are trying to hurt and use you, and
Right.
you do. And just please be educated and wary, and talk to your friends and trust your friends, and and like don't let somebody try to take you away from your friends or try to manipulate you into thinking like you have to do this to be loved, because you don't have to do anything to be loved. Somebody should just love you. And if they expect like physical things from you as the condition of like you getting treated with human decency, fuck them.
Yep.
Like,
No, don't fuck them. That's not what you're supposed to do.
No, don't
kid.
fuck them.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know I'm
come
taking
on
this like
now.
to dark places, but it's
Yeah,
just like,
you
please
just messed
understand
it up.
your,
You're
please
confusing 'em. You're
understand
giving
your
'em-
value, and
Yes.
like you don't owe anyone anything. It's of course important to understand what your desires and needs are once you are of age. And like, and if there is somebody underage listening to this, please understand that it's
Be
important
safe.
to be educated and be safe, and don't put yourself in situations or let somebody try to take advantage of you. And I know that it can be hard because when I was younger, I did get put into a lot of pressuring situations, and I'm very fortunate that I had resources eventually, like when I found the internet, and now you guys have double the resources. And I didn't let people pressure me into those situations. But it can be hard. But know that like just because you won't do something physical with somebody, that does not mean that
Yeah, it
like,
doesn't-
you're not worthy of respect or love.
Let me
Like,
give the kids like some Jax advice too. So like, look, here's the thing. Like, someone tries to press you into anything, just say no, walk away. If they grab you, kick them in the dick. There you go. Like, yeah, you're in your right to protect yourself in that situation. But here's the thing. Just always like that, always make your intentions like, I don't want to do this, because like some people like it's called like grooming or some bullshit
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, where
Yeah.
they like do this thing where they like well actually you know, you're not like other 17-year-olds or other 16-year-olds or other
No,
15 or whatever,
don't
something like that.
listen
So
to
like
them.
they like listen, like don't listen to that shit, because it's just like they're using you. Like if you're like, first off, like because you know, some people like dating like 3 years isn't a big deal. Like if you're 18 and you're
Yeah.
dating a
Once you
15-year-old,
are
like if
of
you're in high
age-
school, right? Like
Yeah,
because
once you are 18, do what you want. Sure, there can be like some weird stuff that I probably wouldn't recommend, but if you are of age,
if you're of
then
age, do what you
live your
want.
life. Live your life. But if you are not of age, please be safe. Please be
Please be
cautious.
safe.
Please be wary. Like there's conversations that happen in the cosplay community, especially about minors that want to do like lewd photo shoots and stuff. And
Oh,
it
yeah,
just
fuck that.
creates
No, that's a
terrible
fuck no.
situations. Do not do that. And
Yeah.
when I say don't do that, it's not because
It's
like, the
legally
women-
don't do that.
Yeah, it's not because like the women telling you not to do it are jealous or whatever. It's to protect you, because there are these predators out there that like they don't know how old you are when they're looking at these pictures, and they are trying to like prey on you and do all this stuff, and it's just like, no, please wait until you're of age before you put yourself into those situations. And I understand the struggles, and I understand that even if you're not of age, you're probably still going to do stuff. But if you are, please educate yourself, and please understand.
Educate yourself. Make sure to stay in your
And
age
have
range
someone that
and
you can
your
talk
context,
to.
and have like a good relationship with someone you can talk to, because we traveled to a dark place there. But
We really did. But I
speaking
think
to places
it was...
we want to travel,
Oh, that's good. But yeah, sorry we made it so dark, guys. We love you, and we want you to be educated and stuff. And we shared our experiences and hope that it helped you out a little, if anybody needed to hear any of that.
right?
But speaking of
See, you just ruined
places
the
to
fucking flower.
travel,
All right.
our next question comes from Anonymous, and it's, where is a place that we would like to travel, Jordan?
I don't know. Where do you want to go?
Japan.
Whataburger. I want to go to Whataburger. There
Do
we
they have
go.
Whataburger in Japan?
They probably don't. It's not southern enough.
Damn it, you're right. Dude, I'm such a basic weeb. I want to go to Japan one day. It's going to be expensive, but I want to do it. It's going to be great.
But I mean, like, would you understand them? How would you communicate
Oh,
with people?
no. I wouldn't go alone. I would go with people, and apparently there's lots of English speakers there. And
So would you just do that thing where you talk into your phone and then like it just translates it?
if possible, I would love
Yeah,
to do
that's
that.
what you could do, because that's what I hear friends do. What they do is when they go to Japan is they'll talk into it, and then they'll just show the person like this thing, and then it'll like say and then they'll like help you out, or like some people do speak English, and so like again it's a cool little thing, because I know for me like I would be interested in going there just to see various things, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm like ugh about is the 24-hour flight there. Like that's the only thing I'm just like ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I want to go. Japan too.
I'm one day, like, because I'm not in a place right now where I'm saving for a huge trip like that. Like, I have like some smaller trips that I'm doing. Like, I'm actually going to the beach on my birthday with Zach and a bunch of friends.
In
Zach
May.
actually, yeah, in May, on my birthday weekend, May 11th, we're going to a beach, and Zach covered my portion of it as a birthday present to me. So like, I get a birthday trip. So that's going to be exciting, and we're going to have cake, and we're going to do cool stuff. It's going to be neat. But, yeah, and then I'm going to Texas in July for RTX, but I've made it pretty affordable because I have a bunch of friends. We're staying in a hotel, so it's probably going to be not even $100 to $150 a person for like 4 days in like a hotel that's like 0.6 miles away from the actual venue. And I was going to fly out, but I have a friend here in Alabama that's driving, and they're a pretty cool person. So me, them, and one other person are going to road trip up there, and they have different sleeping arrangements. They're staying with like a friend that they have, but I'm staying with my people in the hotel room. But yeah, they're going to ride me up there, and it's probably not even going to cost me $50 total, like to give them gas money, like if we split it. So I was going to dish out a $400 plane ticket, but now it's just $50. So yay!
Nice.
Yeah, I know I like keep bringing it back to money, but money is so important when it comes to like, you know, making sure that you're in a good financial place for whatever trips you're wanting to do. Because like a lot of the cons I do nowadays, I'm either doing a panel, working behind the scenes. I have somebody that's there, has a place I can sleep. So I don't spend a lot of money going to cons nowadays because I'm always doing something with them to make it affordable for me. Like RTX is the only con that I was like, okay, I'm going to spend like some money to go here. But now I don't even have to dish out for a plane ticket. So I've been able to make it to where it works for me.
Nice.
But do you have any trips coming up or things that you're excited about?
I'm going to Kamehacon thing in a week from now, so I get Whataburger. And so that's Texas, and I'm going to Six Flags in Texas, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And then after that, I have MomoCon in May, and I think that's it for right now. I might I'm considering RTX. I'm not sure, but I don't know yet.
Ooh, dude, if you came to RTX, that would be so cool.
I just want to do a pun off with Barb.
Oh yeah, I would love to meet them. I heard at Dragon Con this year there's going to be the full the 4 girls, the Ruby girls.
Oh, cool.
So that'll be neat.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, but either way, I hope if I can just meet Kara, the voice of Weiss, like whether it's at RTX or wherever, if I really want to ask if she would do like a 10-second recording with me, even if it's like $30. I usually don't like go out of my way to pay for like selfies and pictures and stuff with celebrities. Not that I don't understand like the purpose of it. Of course they need to make their money. I just personally don't really do that. But
well, I got some bad news for you then. You owe me $400 from all the selfies you take.
Oh
together,
no!
so,
No,
yeah.
you owe me $500 because I love you.
No, you
Got him.
Damn
it. Casually PayPal's me $500. But no, and it just says like for the love, and I'd be like shit and send it back to you. But
okay.
But Kara, I would love to make like a clip of me and her, and I would just ask her like, hey, would it be cool if you recorded if you just did a little bit with me real quick where I like do the Weiss voice and you do the Weiss voice? Like I would totally like, I'd try to be as polite as possible. Like it's cool if you don't want to, if you're not comfortable or whatever. And if she said yes, I'd be like, okay, here's the cash. Just like 10 seconds. I just want to have like a little talk back and
Weiss
forth
off.
as Weiss. Yeah. That would be so fun. Like,
that'd be dope if you get her to do that.
Yeah.
Because I know I want to do that with like what is his name? Oh God, I forget his name. Shit. Oh God.
Shaggy?
The voice actor for Cyborg.
Yes, you want to say booyah.
Yeah, I want to say booyah with Cyborg and Will Friedle because he was Ron Stoppable. So I want Ron Stoppable, Cyborg, and me all to just yell booyah. Like that would be.
Oh my gosh! And you could use that as like an intro for your show or something.
Yeah, like booyah! Like, all of us say it together. Like I just want that would be like my dream come true.
That would be awesome. Oh, I have so many goals, so many. But one thing that I've heard about that people can do, if you have like a business or like a credit card that you use for business stuff, There are these credit cards that rack up flyer miles, but you don't have to do anything. Like, you don't have to pay an extra fee or whatever to do it. All you have to do is when you get the card, I think you have to spend like a minimum of like $3,000 or something on it in the first month, and then you just keep spending on it. But it doesn't mean you have to spend it on like on flights or something. It's literally like if you have bills to pay, for example, and you use this credit card to pay your bills, or if it's a business credit card and you use it for all of your business expenses, all of the money that you're spending on the things that you were already going to spend it on, but you do it on this credit card, it racks up flyer miles. So, like, that was really cool to hear. And I have a friend that does that. And actually, Zach was thinking about getting one that does that so he can rack up flyer miles. And it's, like, a really cool concept. The fact that you don't have to pay anything extra for it. It's just like if you had a credit card that you were already going to be using a bunch because it's your business credit card, or you maybe have a bunch of bills to pay, or you were about to do like a big down payment thing, but you wanted to do it on this thing, you could easily like rack up $1,000 in flyer miles and get a free ticket to Japan just for paying your bills. Like, I think it's a really cool idea. Like, but I think it would work best for somebody that has a work credit card. So like somebody that spends big amounts of money, you know, on their thing to get it back. So then they could use that for like flights. It's just really cool. Look it up if anybody out there is interested in something like that, because that's really cool to me.
Okay. No, it does sound interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, Japan is the main place that I want to travel. I want to go to Tokyo Tower and see all the One Piece.
Yeah, the One Piece, that would be cool. That'd be awesome. Or get like
apparently
actual ramen. That'd be dope.
Yes, because apparently One Piece is like a religion in Japan.
Oh yeah, it is. It's like
so
one of the most popular
stuff.
series, like Gundam over there.
Yeah. So like that makes me very excited to one day go there. And maybe in the next 3 to 5 years I will. Like, but definitely not this year or next year. But because I'm not in a saving place for that right now. But it's still a cool thought. Do you have any places that you would like to travel besides Japan, Jordan?
I would like to go to one of those, I don't know, like, I guess sort of like a beach vacation where it's just like, oh yeah, like you go to a beach weekend, like you're like, I guess maybe Hawaii, but I just don't like pineapple and all that stuff. Like, cause I know like a place, even though people keep trying to say, oh, it's beautiful. And I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's quite beautiful, but it's like Australia. I'm so paranoid about Australia because all the poisonous spiders and snakes and saltwater crocodiles and all that stuff. It's just like, I'm good, mate. I'm good. But yeah, I would love to go to a place with like a nice beach house, and then like you go and you play, and it'd be nice, it'd be relaxing time, something like that. That's where I would like to go.
Yeah. Like, I usually prefer air-conditioned places with internet, but I'm excited.
Well, I mean, like they have air conditioning and the internet inside, but it's just like outside. There's like a beach and all that stuff, and you can go like, oh yeah, relax, or then you can like go around and see how it goes and stuff like that. That'd be something I'm interested in.
I know that Zach really wants to go to like Europe and Paris and stuff one day, and like I'm not against that.
You can go meet that woman's beau because she married the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I could just dress as Ladybug and go to Paris. And
there you go.
Do a photo shoot.
Omelette du fromage.
Omelette du fromage. That's still one of the best episodes.
Give me all your fries and bread.
Oh, God. Oh, I wanted to tell you one thing that I did the other day. I'm a fancy person now. I went to brunch the other day.
Oh, you fancy, huh?
It was fancy, huh?
Oh,
Nails
fancy,
done, hair
huh?
done, everything did.
Yeah.
It was like a point. I'd give it a 5.5 out of 10. It was too expensive. The portions were shit.
Yeah,
and
that's what it is. The portions suck.
The food was super mushy. It was like not even like, because I like my eggs to be like almost rubbery. Like I like some chew in my eggs. Ugh. And like this French toast that we got was like bread pudding. Like, and I don't like bread pudding. I wanted French toast. God damn it. And it wasn't.
I don't like pudding in general.
Oh, I like chocolate pudding.
God.
But yeah, it was bleh. The only redeeming thing about it was my friend had like some French fries on their plate, and they let me try them, and they were like truffle fries. They were really good, and I heard you can go there and get like a thing of those for $4, so I might do that. But I'm not going for brunch again. It did have a free ice cream bar once you finish, so I
Once
ate
you
my
finish,
fill.
you have to eat the food first, then go to the ice cream. You can't
Yeah,
just go to
so
the ice cream bar.
I filled myself up on ice cream for the weekend of cheats. Of cheat day for me, of cheat weekend for me, so that
Right.
it would justify the amount of money I paid for that goddamn gross bread pudding.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. It just
Nah, I hate bread pudding. I
brunch
understand. I hate,
is not worth it. Apparently,
It's really not.
The
It's the
difference
portion size that pissed me off. It's like,
Yeah.
this is it? What the
And
fuck?
brunch
What do you
apparently
think? I'm like
is-
4 years old? What is this?
Yeah, it's more so about the alcohol, apparently. Like, you drink mimosas and stuff, but me and Zach don't drink. So it was like everybody we were with, like, they had like little fancy drinks, and I was like, oh, okay. And so I just was like, okay, well, I'm going to eat food. Like, me and Zach were like craving French toast because Zach's favorite breakfast is French toast, and he heard it was really good there. But it was all mushy and gross. Damn it, I'm angry.
Right. Ugh. I agree so much. This shit is
Yeah.
so nasty. Ugh.
So that is, yeah.
I'm with you. I get you. I understand 100%. You do.
I know that's a random segue away from traveling, but I wanted to mark in on that. If you're ever in a new place and somebody's like, oh, we should get brunch, say no and slap them and go to McDonald's.
Yeah, or go to Whataburger since you're in Alabama. That's
Yeah, it's
what I
true.
would eat.
Now I really want Whataburger. I
Yeah,
still
I know.
have
If
my
I say
gift
a
card for
food
Wendy's,
item
though.
like 3 times, I really want it. So if I'm like French toast, I'll
You
like
should
start
travel
craving
back to Alabama and get Whataburger.
Why should I go to Alabama though?
For Whataburger.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. You're right. I'll just fly over. Get
Nothing
it, and then
is
fly
here.
Back. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fly down, get some, and then fly back.
Yeah.
I wish I had one of those private jets where I could do that shit.
Oh my
Or
gosh.
you
I
just,
hear
like,
like
do
just
that.
the landing situation for those is what makes it so expensive.
I know, it's ridiculous. Like, oh, you can't land here. This is private property. You can't
Yeah.
land here. Shit. Well, what if I like skydive and then like hook my way up like Bane or something?
Yeah.
Oh god.
But otherwise, yeah, I think we pretty much answered all the questions. We got really deep today
Yep.
for a Fools of April Day.
Yep. We did. Good
We
job.
did it. Yay!
Where can they find you, Katy? KaniDay?
Oh yeah. Bleh. Oh gosh. No. I'm
Oh
really
god.
hungry.
She's losing it.
You
She
can-
doesn't know where
you-
to find herself.
Oh no, where I can never find myself truly. I'm lost in the sphere.
You're
universe.
lost.
But I guess whenever I come back, I can be found on Twitter and Instagram and Twitch at KaniDay Official, and you can also find me on Facebook at KaniDay Cosplay. You can also find me on YouTube at KaniDay, and you can find us at Weird Flex But Okay Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, and not Instagram, on YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud, and Twitter at Weird Flex Pod. You can send us an email at weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, Jordan, where can they find you?
Oh, we should make an Instagram for Weird Flex. Just put pictures of us doing various things. But yeah, okay, let's yeah, you can find me at Jaxblade Fitness on Twitter. You can find me at Jordan Jaxblade Downs on Facebook. You can find me at Jaxblade on YouTube, Jaxblade on Instagram, Jaxblade Tumblr, Jaxblade07 DeviantArt. As a matter of fact, don't go there unless you're older than 18.
Oh, God.
But yes, then what do you want to do? That's where you find me. Just Jaxblade anything. That's where I am. I'm the Jax, I'm the Blade, the muscles, the fade, the alien princess with the alien Kate. Oh yeah, there we go.
The
But yeah, that's where
supersonic
you can find
speed.
me.
Is she down with the weird flex? Oh yes,
Yes,
indeed.
indeed. Oh, we could pay her to say that.
Oh my
We should get one of those cameos where she like just
Oh
says
my
that.
God.
She'd make her rap it. The weird,
Oh my
the flex, the muscles, the text. Yeah. It's like-
Oh my God. Okay, we'll save that for another day.
Okay, let's say it.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Bye-bye. Bye, Nee.
Bye.